rağmen Rusya Federasyonu Devlet Başkanı dostum Putin'in bu insani köprünün devamını istediğine inanıyorum.
The European Union's reaction has been immediate, emphasizing the importance of the deal for global food security.
This agreement, together with the European solidarity lanes, it is helping to make sure that the most vulnerable countries have access to the grains and to the fertilizers they need for their people, for their population. And that's why we fully support all the efforts of Antonio Guterres to make sure that the continuity of this agreement will be guaranteed.
Liar.
The European diplomacy, Josep Borrell, said that for his part, this decision by Russia is totally unjustified and that it turns people's hunger into a weapon.
Exactly.
An attack on Kerch Bridge, which links Russia with illegally annexed Crimea, has killed a man and a woman and injured their 14-year-old daughter. Moscow has blamed 2 Ukrainian maritime drones for the strike. Kyiv has not taken responsibility for the attack, but AFP is reporting that Ukraine's Secret Service said it was behind the strike, assisted by the country's navy in southern Ukraine.
The Russian state has taken control of shares in the Russian subsidiary of French food producer Danone, according to a decree signed by Vladimir Putin on Sunday. The decree also said that Carlsberg shares in Russian-based Baltika breweries are to be transferred to state management. The Kremlin has previously warned it might seize Western assets on a temporary basis in retaliation for foreign moves against Russian companies abroad after Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine says fighting has intensified on the Eastern Front, with its forces having been put on the defensive near the city of Kupiansk. The Deputy Defence Minister added that its forces have made advances near Bakhmut, albeit slowly. Against the backdrop of continued Russian shelling, which is destroying homes and schools, Japan has reconfirmed its unshakable support for Ukraine.
Watch and pray.
Speaking on the sidelines of the G20 finance ministers meeting held in India, Japan's delegate confirmed that Russian-owned assets under the G7 supervision would not be transferred until Russia pays damages to Ukraine. Meanwhile, the Russian MOD has released images purportedly showing a Russian self-propelled system firing at Ukrainian positions. Vladimir Putin claims a counter-offensive aimed at recapturing territory is not succeeding, and that attempts to break through Russian defences have failed.
The time has come to relaunch relations between the European Union, Latin America and Caribbean countries. After 8 years without any high-level summits, more than 50 leaders from both sides of the Atlantic gather in Brussels for 2 days. Europe wants to regain influence in the region after realizing that the war in Ukraine is changing the rules of the game on the international chessboard. China has also been massively investing in the region.
Since we were natural partners, we didn't pay enough attention. This is the reason. Europeans didn't pay enough attention to the Latin Americans. And now we have to react, and taking into account the new geopolitical scenario with the emergence of China and the new role of Russia, we have to express and to show not only concern, but engagement.
But beyond trade, several debates have opened up on the final wording of a statement from all sides on the outcome of the summit. Latin American countries would like to see some kind of reference to the colonial past, as well as reparations for the transatlantic slave trade.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. Chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Call Halayim La, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to our to our elders, to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, Salakia. Salutations to the four corners of the earth for the elect. This is a short lesson. Never trust thine enemy. And it's about sin. The wages of sin is death. Okay, I'll be reading later in this lesson from Romans chapter 6, verses 19 through 23. But first, never trust thine enemy. To repeat, Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And that's all related to Agenda 21. All right. See these daffodils here? Let me let this sucker tell you.
Daffodils which are grown at higher altitudes hold a special power. They produce a crucial medical compound, a key component in pills to combat Alzheimer's. Recent studies reveal another potentially astonishing benefit. Early evidence shows high-altitude daffodils produce extract, which when fed to cows has the unique ability to reduce methane emissions. The challenge, to get flower crops to grow consistently on mountain tops.
We found, when we tried to grow daffodils here, that all the traditional practices from the daffodil industry from decades didn't work and didn't apply. In the end, we had to throw out the rule book and completely reinvent the whole process from start to finish.
The daffodil is synonymous with Wales. It's the national flower of the country. But the last place you'd expect it to be grown here is the Black Mountains. The reason it is, although it's challenging, is because these conditions are the perfect conditions to produce the crucial compound when it comes to reducing methane.
It became apparent very quickly that daffodils are packed full of very powerful bioactive compounds.
Cows and other farm animals contribute approximately 14% of human-induced climate emissions. Scientists are hopeful that as well as reducing emissions, daffodil extract can make animal digestive systems more efficient.
What we also are expecting.
Okay, enough of that jive, okay? All right. Be not ignorant. Sirach chapter 5, verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in the great matter or as small. Okay? Now, this is a short lesson, but I'm going to go ahead and continue this in another lesson because this phone is cutting off and is acting funny, so I'm forced to do short lessons. All right? And with that, I say, Shalom. Call Halayim La, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. Shalom.